Welcome to Cash Chats with me, Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com. This is the podcast to help you make the most of your money. In episode 406, it's just me, no Amelia Stay, but I'm going to take you through a brand new 10% paying savings account, which is well worth a look. It's a regular saver, so I'll also explain a little bit how those work. There's also a new bank switching deal from TSB, which is a bit complicated, but could be when you add all the bits together, worth around 250 quid. So I'll take you through what you need to know there as well. And also, I'm going to share some of the ways you can save at the cinema every day of the week. Some of my top ways to cut the price of tickets. All of that and deals of the week. Let's get into it. This is episode 406 of Cash Chats. Now, I really love going to the cinema. If I can watch a film anywhere, it's going to be on the biggest screen possible with the best sound. Not always the biggest fan of the people hanging around on their phones and chatting and stuff, which is more and more the case now. But you know, a big film, that's when I go. And some big releases out, as there always are this summer. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to share with you some of the things you can do to get free tickets or much, much cheaper tickets that you can use throughout the week. You're not necessarily restricted. Although there are some deals I'm going to share with you which are big savers, which might be limited to just 1 or 2 days a week. So let's start. Some of these will be specific to certain chains, some of them will be more generic, and hopefully there's something for you wherever you live, wherever you like to go. So first of all, obviously, you know, if you go midweek, it's going to be cheaper anyway, but there are also some deals which bring those price down further. And I'm sure many of you know this already, but there is Meerkat Movies. We've all seen the adverts, right? You get 2-for-1 tickets on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday if you have taken out an insurance product from Compare the Market, which, you know, we all need insurance of some form: home insurance, car insurance, travel insurance. Maybe, right, you choose to go with them so you can get this benefit. But you don't have to do that. There is a hack, and this is something I wrote about first, I don't know, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, whenever it launched. I spotted this and shared it, and it's still going strong. So it still means you can get this, and it's just going to cost you £1, which means those insurance products, you can shop around for them elsewhere and potentially get a better deal. Or if you don't need insurances, you can still get this. The way to do it is to go to Compare the Market, and you're going to look at travel insurance, but you're going to look for it for 1 day, and you're going to look for it just in the UK. Even if you don't need to use it, it doesn't matter if you're not going to go away for a day trip, whatever it is. It doesn't matter because you're not using it for the insurance. Although if you have got a day out in the UK, maybe choose that date just to kind of coincide with it, just in case, whatever it might be. But you do that, you buy that, and normally a policy will come up around £1. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more, but roughly speaking, that's what you'll pay. And that will give you access for a full 12 months. And in a year's time, assuming it's still running, you can do that again and continue to get access for a year. Now, you can only get one set of 2-for-1 tickets every week, okay, only on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but that is a great way to do it. And you can stack these a lot of the time. Let's say you picked up a discounted gift card for Odeon or View or whatever it might be, and often those deals do come along, and we share them at BeCleverWithYourCash.com if they're worth looking at. Well, they count as cash, so you can pay for your ticket with that gift card. Let's say 20% off that, so you get 20% off your ticket, and then it's 2-for-1, just splitting that in two. So that is a great way to save money, not just this summer, but all year round. So certainly we'd have a look at that. There is another 2-for-1 offer which you might not be aware of, and this is for Everyman cinemas, because they're not part of Meerkat. Meerkat has most of the brands, but not Everyman. Now, this one is just for subscribers to Times Plus. Basically, you're paying every single month to get the digital edition or the paper edition of the Times newspaper. That's quite expensive, so if you don't want to do that, then this isn't a good option. But if you have it, go to Times Plus, 2-for-1 every Wednesday for Everyman cinemas. Or if you just want it for a few weeks, you can take out a free trial or a cheap trial, maybe £1, but normally it's free trial, gets you access to that for a set amount of time. Might just be 1 month, might be a couple of months, whatever it is, but if you're going to go on a Wednesday to an Everyman and you've not already done this, that's going to save you some cash. And obviously we know if you've been to one, Everyman cinemas are pretty expensive. So that is a decent saving you're going to get there. They're probably the best of those generic sort of 2-for-1 offers, again, limited to midweek. Then let's move on to kind of ones which you can use, free tickets or cheap tickets you can use all through the week. Now, some of the best ones of these, if you're a regular listener or watcher or reader of the content we produce, you might be familiar with these because I talk about them quite a lot because they are linked to a couple of current accounts. The first one is the Club Lloyds current account. This is one where you sign up as long as you add £2,000 to the account every single month. It doesn't have to stay there. You can withdraw it straight away. As long as you do that, you can claim a lifestyle benefit. And you've got some options there. There's magazine subscriptions. There's free Disney Plus with ads for a year, which has been probably quite popular for a lot of people. But you can also choose 6 View or Odeon tickets, completely free. And with this, you can have one account for yourself, just one, but you can also have a joint account. So if you're in a household and you both get a single account each and you get a joint account, then obviously that's going to be 3 lots of that. That's potentially 18 free cinema tickets you're going to get in a year. You do have to keep the account open to keep those tickets alive. If you switch away or close the account down or downgrade to a non-Club Lloyds account, then they will stop working. So you either use them all and then switch away, because you should get them all at the start of a month after you open the account. But that again is a great option to go down. And even if you Sally's View or Odeon, but that is still a pretty one to go for. Similarly, you can get 12 free tickets to View via the Halifax reward account. Now, I personally prefer to go for the £5 cash reward every month rather than cinema ticket, partly because there isn't a View on my doorstep, so it's harder for me to use those, and partly because with these things I'm telling you about now, I'm quite confident I can often get cinema tickets for around that £5 mark, if not less. So having actual cash is a bit more beneficial to me, gives me more flexibility. But if you know you're going to go to a View on a regular basis, then get this account. And there are a few more hoops you have to jump through in order to trigger the reward. You have to add £1,500 into the account every single month, but you also need to spend £500 on your debit card every single month. Now, you might think that's no problem. If you use your main account and you use your main account in that way, it probably won't be a problem. But if you're like me and you're using a cashback card or whatever it might be instead to earn that money, then that might be a problem. But as I have shared a number of times, there are ways for you to get around this. So you can check out, I've got the video, I've covered it on the podcast, there's an article on becleveryourcash.com as well. These kind of debit card spending hacks for all sorts of banking rewards, not just this one. But again, this is another 12 free tickets you can get. Plus, you are not limited to one of these. You can have 3 of these account. You do have to meet that criteria again each time, but potentially that's 36 tickets you're going to get for View across a year for free. And again, if you're in a couple, they can also get 3. So even more. So if you've got a family, straight away, this is a huge number of tickets you could be getting at no cost at all. They're my favorite ones. A few other quick hacks I want to share with you. And this is one which I'm not 100% sure how many you're going to get with this. It could just be 3 tickets. It could be 12. But the cost will be just £1. But 3 definitely, almost certainly nailed on for 3 tickets, for View tickets for £1, which is pretty good, right? Now, this is another subscription. This is for Telegraph readers. And again, you might think, well, I don't want a subscription to the Telegraph. But again, you don't have to pay for it because they have trials. The most common trial, it does vary, but the most common trial is roughly 3 months for £1. That's 3 months from when you start it. So you start it on the 6th of August, then it'll go on 3 months until the 6th of 6th of September, 6th of October into the 6th of November. So that covers 4 calendar months. That's important, right? So once you've got this, you take out this trial. So it's important. I say it's important because you don't want to take it out too early. You want to make sure you go 3 or 4 days into a month so you can go into that extra 4th month at the end. So once you've got the subscription, you have to wait a month before you're eligible for one of their VIP rewards. And there's a choice you've got there. You can do a rental, a movie, you can get a National Theatre at Home rental, or you can get a View cinema ticket. So you wait a month, and then you can get that ticket. And a month later, you can get another one. A month later, get another one. So you will get these 3 cinema tickets, these 3 View tickets for £1. Now, that's assuming the offer doesn't change. It's been coming and changing in different ways over the years I've been talking about this. So there is obviously a risk that you could get it and later on it disappears. But even if you got 1 ticket for £1, I still think that's pretty good. Yeah, but ideally you're going to get 3. But there's something else. This is what I've just been trying because I've recently signed up for this again. There is now the option for you to give friends and family, 3 friends or family, their own subscription for no extra charge. So they'll be able to access all the Telegraph newspapers, reports, other things that are on there as well, but they'll also get this Telegraph Extras account. And I still haven't had this yet, but I'm waiting that 30 days from having given someone this extra account. It looks very likely to me that after 30 days, they're also going to be able to access a free ticket. Now, there's 3 of those. If you give those out to people in your household or other friends and stuff, okay, maybe you don't get them personally, the tickets, maybe they get them or whatever it might be. But that could be 12 tickets in total for just £1. And with this one, you want to cancel it, obviously, before that trial is over, so you don't get charged a quite hefty amount every single month for it. But when you go to cancel, they'll often say, oh, here's a deal if you stay on. And if you say, no, I don't fancy that, they'll often go, well, how about this deal? So in the past, and I can't promise it's going to be the same going forward, but in the past, I've been able to continue paying just £1 every single month for 8, 9, 10 months, whatever it might be. Or a trial finishes, I wait a couple of months and they offer it to me again. So this could be one that keeps going, but do bear in mind this offer has changed in the past. It used to be when it ran before that they were first come, first serve, and they would go very quickly. You had to get them on the first or second day that they were released in a month. Now it looks like they're available all throughout the month. Again, that could change, but I still think this is another great way to pay hardly anything to go to the cinema as long as it's a view. They're the main ones. I quickly want to touch on a couple of those. I won't go into detail on them, but if you have a phone, most of you got a mobile phone, but one of the big networks. So if you're with O2, you can get 2 view tickets every week for £9. If you're with Vodafone, you can get 2 Odeon tickets every week for £9. If you're with Three, you can get a Cineworld or Picture House ticket every week for £3. So it's definitely worth having a look at that and taking advantage of those offers if you can. Other memberships, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can get 2 Odeon tickets for £10 every single month, while Octopus has its own loyalty scheme called Octo Plus. That also currently gives you 2 Odeon tickets for, it works out with booking fees, £12. So again, there still could well be cheaper, paying £4.50, £5, £6 for a ticket could well be cheaper. This is any day of the week, not just when they have the off-peak days midweek. It could be weekend ones where that brings the price down. But you've got to remember that these prices are the same wherever you live via these offers. We all know, well, hopefully we know, that some, not all cinema prices are the same wherever you go. So it may well be that you have got a cheap Fleabag, Odeon or View or Cineworld where the prices are way, way, way less than the actual price going. Maybe £5 rather than £6 or other deals like that, which might be better to go for over these. But more information about all of these and other ways to save at the cinema. There's free previews that happen every single month with something called Escape. There's all sorts of things going on. All of that over at becleverwithyourcash.com/deals. Now, if you are listening to or watching the podcast on YouTube, then you will need to click off to watch those other sections of this episode because they've already been covered. You guys got them ahead of the game before everybody else. That's the 10% regular saver from Virgin Money that was launched just at the weekend. Really, really good option. So do check that out if you have money to put aside every single month at a pretty crazy rate considering how much rates are going to be falling now following that Bank of England cut just last week. And there's also a new bank switching deal from TSB, which I want to go through in a bit more detail as well. So you can watch that video or listen to that video on YouTube Music. But before you do that, we have got our deals of the week. So deals of the week for episode 406 of Cash Chats. Where to start? Well, at the supermarket. If you go to Lidl, it's worth checking because they have got the spin to win promo back. This time it is in the bakery. So every time you shop, you can get something from an almond croissant to a baguette, a pizza slice without paying at all. So it's definitely worth seeing what you could get if you're shopping there anyway. Lots of things this summer and all year round, but in terms of making food a little bit cheaper for families and for kids, those kids eat free things. And we've got a big long list of the top places over at becleverwithyourcash.com. But one that might be worth pointing out to you completely free is at Morrison's. If you go in and ask for Eileen at a Morrison's cafe, you'll get 2 free toasted crumpets plus a choice of your toppings. This is pretty much through all of August, the 5th of August to the 25th of August. So that's a great one to support you, whether you're family or not. That's some free food if you are struggling to sort of afford very expensive meals throughout this summer. I'm not the biggest fan of getting groceries on your takeaway apps. Generally, you're paying well over the odds to do this. So really, plan ahead is the best option. And when you're at the supermarket, get the things you need rather than do a quick orders for the bag of ice or pint of milk or whatever it be, because you'll be paying a lot more in terms of the actual price plus the fees. But there are sometimes some promos which can bring the prices down and they're worth a look. I'm not saying you should do it, but worth a look. And there's one that's running on Wednesdays throughout August, which is Just Eat, 50% off your groceries. So have a look and see if it's worth doing it. Not every supermarket will be taking part, but seeing if you can save money there will be pretty good. Sticking with supermarkets, if you shop at Waitrose and you spend £50 twice in August, you'll get a voucher then for £15 off, another £50 spend in September. Now, I don't often spend that kind of money on a single shop because it's quite close to me. I'll go in and out. But if you do a big shop, make sure you scan your My Waitrose card because that's when how you'll be noticed. They'll know that you're actually getting this and triggering this. Wagamama's have got a new loyalty scheme. If you regularly go to Wagamama's, make sure you download the app because you can get some free edamames the first time you go. And then after that, you'll be earning points as you go along. There are a number of these out there. Franco Manca's got one. You can get all sorts of freebies and things. Again, not a reason to go somewhere, but certainly something to download if you're going anyway. A couple more quickly share with you. This is a classic, but it's still going, so it's worth sharing it again. Spotify Premium. If you are paying $10.99 or $11.99 for Spotify Premium every single month right now, it's just for you as an individual, then you can save yourself a decent chunk if you know you're going to keep it for a year and you are not going to change by buying a gift card. Basically, it's £99 for 12 months, roughly 8 and a bit months. You'll be paying for, and the rest of it will be free. That's how it works out when you divide it out. Now, this is also what's good about this one is you can stack it. So you can buy one, and when you've got 6 months left on that annual pass, you can add another one. So not only does it save you money, but it potentially could protect you against price increases in the future. It's even cheaper than that Spotify Basic that I told you about a few months ago. So this is definitely worth a look if you're committed to getting it for yourself. But if you are sharing it with family and friends members in the same household, you're probably better off looking at duo or family and things like that. The other things to share with you very quickly, we did talk about this in the podcast a few weeks ago, just to kind of a heads up, but I want to sort of shout about it again because we have looked into detail. This is the Super Save Club from Money Supermarket, similar to the Compare the Market Meerkat Meals Meerkat Movies deal I mentioned before. If you take your insurance out with Compare the Market, then you get access to this Super Save Club, which has a number of benefits. But the hack, and we've checked this and it absolutely does work, if you open up the Credit Monitor service from Money Supermarket, this is not necessarily a great service, but it's not a bad service. Basically, you'll be able to see your credit score. It'll have no impact on your credit file in any way. It's completely free to join, doesn't show on your credit file, so don't worry about that at all. You apply for that, and then within a couple of hours, maybe the next day, you'll then get access to the Super Save Club without any spend at all, completely free. And again, gives you the option to get your insurance and shop around and get that from elsewhere. Okay, you might want to get it from Money Supermarket, you might not, but you get access to this Super Save Club. And there are a number of features in there, again, we've gone into detail in a review over on the website, aren't really worth it. There's cashback and other rewards, but what is good are these free days out. And the big headline ones are once a month you can get a ticket to London Zoo or to Go Ape and places like that. And also there are others which you can get on a weekly basis, which tend to be sort of smaller, more local attractions rather than those big national ones. But that is going to be a big saver for you throughout the year. It's only one ticket, right? So you have to buy another one. But if you're in a household with someone else who's an adult, they can do the same. They can also go via that hack and get access, which means you can get 2 tickets either to the same attraction or mix and match a little bit more. But again, do look into that. If you're a family, if you haven't got a family, some of those attractions, London Zoo, get a ticket, go with your mate, sounds great. If you've got a family, could be a big money saver this summer. BeCleverWithYourCash.com is where you'll find more information about that and all the other deals and all the other topics that I've spoken about today. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for listening to this. We're back with another episode, rounding up the big money news on Thursday on YouTube, on Friday morning on podcasting apps. So we'll see you at one of those. Until then, cheers.